I'm Old Head Ed.
And I'm Mr. Beleaf. And we like to welcome y'all to Barcodes. Barcodes is a podcast where we delve into the lyrics of your favorite MCs, verse by verse.
Each episode, we invite an artist onto the show,
break down their own bars, and give the listeners a deeper understanding of the meaning and inspiration behind their music.
From underground up-and-comers to established industry veterans.
We cover it all. So join us as we explore the art of emceeing and the stories behind the bars on Barcodes.
Barcodes in the building once again.
Back in the spot, I am Old Head Ed.
Your boy, Mr. Beleaf, right here.
And this is the podcast where we have an esteemed MC sit down with us and break down those bars, give us the meanings, give us the intricacies, the details, what goes into putting together something like this, and just kind of like solving all of life's riddles when it comes to a verse. Like, this is what I meant by this. We could sit there as fans and listen to verses and kind of take it in our own direction, but we invite the writer, the MC behind the verse, to kind of settle settle the score on it. Like, give us all the details.
Yeah,
definitely. Would you agree, Beleaf? Is that what we do?
I definitely agree, man.
Okay,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I'll hear a record and then it's just like some things I feel like, yeah, I got it. But then when I'll hear somebody else unpack it, like the author or the MC, it's just like mind blown kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And today, let me tell you, we have a heavy hitter today. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta be honest, I gotta say it for my peoples in South Florida. This is sort of like a hometown hero. We seen him come up from the bottom and accomplish great things. And if you're not familiar, no pun intended and pun intended, y'all better recognize Wrekonize in the building.
What's cracking?
Yes,
Barcodes, we in here.
Sir.
Let's go.
Yo,
what's up?
Bro, first and foremost, man, thank you for making the time, man. We appreciate it. It's a pleasure of ours, and we hope we live up to it. Thanks again, man, for making the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course. I'm sorry we couldn't do it earlier. I got sick for like a month straight, and we were supposed to do it right in the middle of that sickness. And I was just turning the corner, and then I ended up getting sick a second time back to back from my kids. Thanks, kids. So I didn't want to do
gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to come here like not 100%. So now we're here. We 100%.
We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it, definitely, yo. So what did you bring for us to unpack today, man?
So I brought a freestyle that I did from the top of 2022, actually, from top of last year. It was one of my favorites that I did last year. What is cool is it's not publicly released, so this is a Barcodes exclusive. All right, let's go.
Yeah, we love those. We'll take those anytime.
Yeah, basically what I do is I have a crew of people that subscribe to me on Patreon, and this is the Wrecking Crew right here. It's the shirt I'm repping. Shout out to the Wrecking Crew. Holla to my people. So what I do, one of the perks of the membership is they get a freestyle every month that's exclusive only to the crew. So the Pulitzer was the first one of the series last year.
Okay.
One of my favorites in the end. Yeah, it's a Rick Ross record that Timbaland did the beat for, and when I heard it, I was like, I gotta take that one for a spin. Like, I just need it's one of them beats you just hear, and I don't even know if they did an instrumental for it. I think we ended up just looping the intro. It was one of those. It was just like loop the intro and jump on it.
Got you. That answers the question of who produced it. Like, we usually ask, so it's something that you felt compelled to write to.
Yeah.
Okay.
A Timbaland classic. You know.
Nice.
It's just bangs. All you needed is a loop. It was just fire.
True.
Well, do you remember when you wrote and like what kind of mindset you were when you wrote this?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely New Year's into like the first month of the year is always like some of my favorite time of the year, because it's like all the bullshit from the previous year you can kind of like table and then reset your vibe, and it's like it's like the same way I feel about like Mondays in a way. Like every time the week resets, I'm like, all right, now let's get it this week. And then sometimes you'll have a shitty week or unproductive week, and you'll be like, all right, let's redo it, reset it. You know, diet starts tomorrow kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Monday, let's go.
Let's do it.
The grander scheme of that is like the New Year. So when December comes, like I'll get real reflective about like what we were able to accomplish that previous year, what milestones we hit or whatever. And then when January hits, I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, you know, foot to the pavement, let's get it. So this definitely has that energy of like, okay, it's the first one of the year. I'm opening it up. Let's, swing for the fences.
Gotcha.
It's that energy.
Nice. That's great. I'm looking forward to it. This is definitely I mean, everybody, I always like to sit down and listen to the breakdown, but verses that come like that where they're just packed, it's like I really like to get into it and see what it is that I read from it, what I pick up, and like Beleaf said earlier, how close am I to like kind of deciphering what it was that was meant.
My favorite thing about deciphering lyrics in general is that sometimes as an MC, and I'm sure you can relate, that you'll write something and then someone will tell you how they perceived it, and that isn't exactly what you meant when you wrote it, but sometimes what they perceive is doper.
Yeah, you'd be like, yo, just go with it.
I'll be like, that's it. That's exactly it. Like, yes, I want, like, oh, that's fire. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, like, I like to leave certain lyrics kind of open for interpretation or write it a little bit, like, ambiguously so that people can take it left, right, up, down, however they want to go. But yeah, I always like, being like chopping up lyrics and seeing how people decipher them is a fun experiment.
Dope. Yo, no time like the present. Let's get into it. The Pulitzer Freestyle.
All right, so let's go. So right out the gate, we set it off. So it's 2020 dose. I'm ready editing notes. I hope my enemies choke. They couldn't get to the post. They couldn't get to the line. They couldn't remedy votes to keep these heavenly rhymes from making devilish quotes. So basically, let's open it up. It's 2022. Basically, like checking my list from the previous year. Like I'm editing notes for what we about to do. The next year. Obviously, on some battle rapper shit. What I told Beleaf also earlier was I brought these freestyles over rather than like bringing records, because when I do records, like sometimes I feel like I'm simplifying the verses so that they connect more with people. I'm not. A lot of times in records, I'm not really packing my verses as I would on like a freestyle or a Lucy or a remix or something.
Yeah, you're not trying to bar them up in every
I'm not,
song.
Yeah. And I often do it like just about to connect with that topic. But what's funny is like I've had listeners tell me before like they enjoy the freestyles more, and I could see why. Because when the freestyle, I attack the freestyles completely differently, So like when I just know there's a beat and I could just, do 64 bars or whatever it is, I'll just go in, you know what I mean? And I also don't do a lot in my tracks of like battle rap ish type stuff. So, I hope my enemies choke. They couldn't get to the post. They couldn't get to the line. They couldn't remedy votes. As all stuff I wouldn't really say on a record, but on this I can, talk my shit and say that I'm the best rapper alive or whatever.
Okay,
Go.
So I've been pacing back and forth in this delivery room. See, life's a bitch and she's about to give a kid to me soon. I bet it's Rosemary's Baby. She been sick in the womb. I'm just a king who likes to sing all night and sit in his tomb. I always love a good life's a bitch flip. I know it's like done to death, but I'll continue doing it.
The moment you find find a better metaphor,
because it's always relevant.
It's always fun.
Life is
going nowhere.
Yeah, like she's always a bitch. And how many ways can we flip that? You know what I mean? And obviously some of them are simpler than others, but they always just kind of, they're effective, So life's a bitch. She's about to give a kid to me soon. Now the kid she's about to give me, I bet it's Rosemary's Baby.
All on her part.
Naturally.
That's her doing.
That's her doing, yeah. I did what I did already, and she's about to give me this baby. And for my film fans, I always like to throw in film references.
Rosemary's Baby.
So Rosemary's Baby, if you didn't know, the devil impregnates this woman. Spoiler alert, it's a very old movie, so you can't be mad at me for spoiling.
Very slow movie.
Very slow and very old
though.
movie, yes. Horror classic. So I bet it's Rosemary's Baby. She been sick in the womb. I'm just a king who likes to sing all night and sit in his tomb. We've been talking about having kids, getting a little older. I definitely go out way less now. I'm 39, about to be 40 next month. So like since having my kids these last 5 years, and like I'll come home off the road and just not want to do anything or go anywhere. I like to just I have my little home studio. I record my shit at home. Order Uber Eats or whatever, watch movies. I'm chilling, So I'm just a king who likes to sing all night.
Bring me my nourishment.
I'm sitting in my tomb. You know what I mean? Y'all need to back up off my pockets. I'm sicker than all these profits. This money is hella toxic. I chase it, but it's obnoxious. This was written right a few months before we ended our Strange Music deal. So Mayday and myself as a solo artist were signed to Strange Music for 11 years. So we basically were gearing up to go independent, and we hadn't really announced it yet. We basically May is when we announced like we're launching our own imprints, and we're doing our own record label, and we're off of Strange as recording artists. And so that kind of like changed up the whole game for us. So this was me teasing it because people didn't know yet. So I was saying, you know, y'all need to back up off my pockets. Like, don't worry about the money situation. I'm sicker than all these profits is like a double meaning. It's sicker than just.
I was gonna say it lines up
profits,
with that, and then this money.
Which like I'm sicker than all these profits that you worship, but then I'm also sicker than all these profits. Like I'm not concerned with the money. It's like if I was concerned with the money, I would have stopped being a musician a long fucking time ago. So this money is hella toxic. I chase it, but it's obnoxious because that's exactly true.
And then you could develop a toxic relationship with money.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, for sure. I know people that dream about nothing but money all the time. And then I've had friends that had a lot of money, and I've had varying stages of money in my life. I've never been super rich or anything, but like in the times that I had the most money I've ever had and the times I've had the least, like I could draw a parallel in those moments to happiness, and it didn't have to do with the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
So like I the money thing is I never make a choice primarily off money, and sometimes I feel like musicians get trapped into that because it's so hard to make money in this industry.
Right.
I'd like to cry in a Ferrari any day.
It's definitely a different experience than crying in a Ford Focus or whatever. No offense, Ford Focus drivers. Don't worry, I drive a Nissan.
You're out there.
Yeah, I know you're out there. So yeah, that was just me like talking my shit about like basically getting ready for this independent grind. So then it went from I chase it, but it's obnoxious. I'm ready for independence. I'm checking off all the boxes. I'm graduating to splendid. You think it's sweet, but it's not. So then there was a play on words there with the splendor. You think it's sweet, but it's not. Yeah. Basically, like I'm checking off all the boxes, getting ready to launch our own imprint, get off this record label grind, and do our own thing. And a lot of people are like, yeah, that's going to be amazing for you guys, which it is. But then also people wouldn't really take into account how hard that shit is, you know?
It's a lot, I can imagine.
Yeah, like you already know what it is. Like putting a record out in this day and age, funding all that stuff, and then trying to get a return on investment is a fucking grind. And luckily, I was already kind of clued into that because doing the strange music stuff, I was very hands-on. So I always was very cognizant of like, it's hard to make money selling these records. You know what I mean? Like I was very appreciative of the record label, even if when we didn't fully agree on something, I was always like, man, they're putting up this money and I know those dollars are coming back. Even though like the deal is structured in their favor, the money's coming back slow. You know, like this is just how the nature of the game is, you know.
Now, how long before this verse dropped, before all of that was happening, like before it was an official split?
It was 3 months. So yeah, this verse dropped in like end of January, like or near February, beginning of February, I think it was. And then we ended up announcing the split actually happened like right around this time, but it wasn't public until May.
Okay.
Then people found out in May, and then we dropped our first like independent records in the summer.
All right.
So I'm graduating to splendid. You think it's sweet, but it's not. It's the flesh rotten to bone. Got Harmony as a hostage. These thugs plotting to moan when I desecrate all their projects. Lil Bone Thugs and Harmony stretch there. I'm devious with the notepad, and it's slamming like Onyx. I'm thinking that you should know that. Focus hard, little novice. A little bit more hip hop nods to the Onyx gang. And bitch, I'm irate, chasing normalcy out on the highway, which is my way of saying like, I'm doing it fast, trying to get it like going, but at the same time, like it's insane what we're doing. Like I'm like chasing normalcy out on the highway, like on foot in my head. So it's like I'm going to the highway and I'm gonna go as fast as I can, but I'm literally running on the highway, which is not normal at all.
With the odds aren't against you. Odds are against you at that point. Like that's not a level playing ground.
No, that's an uphill battle. You know what I'm saying? So. Bitch, I'm irate, chasing normalcy out on the highway. You need a mask to get in here, sir. Well, bitch, take a look real hard at my face and tell me you don't see a mask on top of mask on top of mask. We all got plenty faces that we wear, and so I gotta ask, are you out your fucking mind? Was me basically saying, like, I was never really like an anti-masker per se, but I just know it was a hot button issue, and people were so like still irritated by it.
I ain't gonna lie.
No, I know. A lot of my people were. And I got it. Like, I started flying like towards the end of COVID when it was still like mask up on the planes, and that shit was very annoying. But what annoyed me even more was like people who couldn't control their tempers around that shit. You know what I mean? Like people were like, we could all be like, fuck the mask, that's annoying. But then people were like treating the flight attendants like shit, or they were losing their fucking mind.
People taking it to another level.
And I was like, bro, it's just a little piece of fucking cotton in your face. Like I get it, it's annoying, but like relax, like calm yourself down. So I had a little bit of an issue with that. So that's me kind of poking fun at the mask thing, where like by this point, February last year, the mask thing was kind of like it was already done, you know? Yeah. So then I was just saying, like, you know, take a look at my face and tell me I'm not already wearing mask on top of mask on top of mask just to come into society, you know? We all got plenty faces that we wear, and so I gotta ask, are you out your fucking mind? I've been knocking all night. I see no lights. I see no sign of intelligent life. I'm fearing there is none to find. This idiocracy is not a film I can rewind, so I push buttons. So that's kind of what we were talking about right now with the masks. I felt like society had just gone completely fucking bonkers at this point.
Oh yeah, 2021, 2021, like, yo, I feel like that CERN shit opened up, put us in a different parallel universe or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was just weird, yo. Like,
and it
everything
exposed,
was just nuts.
like you said, the idiocracy being this a movie, but it also exposed it, like it put everything on Front Street as far as what we were dealing with.
Yes.
Like, yo, wear your mask to come inside here, but then when you sit down to eat, take it off.
That's a whole other, that's a whole
what the fuck is you doing?
Like the rules and regulations for this unprecedented time we went through was insane.
Yeah.
People's reaction to it, you know what I mean, I thought was also crazy. Some people had valid points, but then I'm also a little, like, I'm a very diplomatic person. Anyone who like kicks it with me will tell you, like, I'm definitely like a let's play all sides before we like start throwing stones at each other. So like for me, like the government did a lot of dumb shit, but I also know that attacking like or approaching that situation, that unprecedented situation, all conspiracies aside, must have been a fucking nightmare. You know what I mean? Like, like who like, I don't know.
Who
I
was
just
prepared
saw,
for that?
Yeah, like I had people like that I would see in social media or whatever going like, nah, they're fucking it up, and I'm like, bitch, you do it then. You know what I mean? Like, what the
There's
fuck?
no textbook. There's no
How you gonna fix it? I'll wait. I'll let you tell me. Like, tell me your grand plan. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're doing it great. I'm just saying that I'm not jumping out going like I have the answers either. So maybe you shut the fuck up. It's kind of my vibe. You know what I mean? So I have my little feelings, and I've been knocking all night. I see no light. I see no lights. I see no sign of intelligent life. I'm fearing there is none to find. This idiocracy is not a film I can rewind, so I push buttons, which is a idiocracy film reference for those. Another film movie, which basically life really did turn into idiocracy.
Yeah,
Word.
2020 and 2021.
Very close describes.
You already saw idiocracy. You already saw it.
Yeah, you already know the plot. But if you watch that, if you've never seen that Mike Judge movie, go back and watch it, and then be like, did they take this off of like Donald Trump in 2020? And
Yeah,
like,
it was weird.
It's oddly like it was very like foretelling when he came out with that movie. That movie is way older.
Yeah,
that movie came out in the
yeah.
90s.
Yeah,
you know?
it came out in the 90s.
And people thought The Simpsons were the only ones that were able to kind of like predict. Like this movie
Mike Judge was predicting with that shit. So this idiocracy is not a film I can rewind. So fuck rewinding. I'm gonna push buttons. Shook ones falling out of the mix like crooks jumping. My looks bumping. I'm dodging y'all with the book thumping. See, I report to my own lords down in the dungeon. And yeah, this fantasy's mine, so don't come ask for nothing. Which is just kind of another way of basically saying another couple of hip hop nods with Mobb Deep.
Shook ones.
The shook ones, yeah. And then basically, like, I'm just saying where I'm at in my life, I'm happy to be like, I already have my own demons. Like, I'm reporting to my own lords down in my own dungeon. Like, the problems I have are mine, and I'm here in my zone. So just, leave me be, basically. It's all, either good and the bad is mine. So don't bother coming over to here, getting something from me. I'm ready to lock, I'm ready to load, I'm ready to fire on them. I'm ready to rock, I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to firebomb them. Those are kind of filler bars for real, to be honest with you. But I just wanted a style, and plus the cadence on there changes. So it was really more about like the cadence than the lyric. Okay. I'll be the first to admit that. I'm not going to tell you that every bar is fire, but but I'm ready to block, I'm ready to load, I'm ready to fire on them. I'm ready to rock, I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to firebomb them. I've been spitting so long, my tongue is stitched up and sewn. I speak riddles to pawns and give commands to the arms. I've been rapping for a long fucking time. I'm about to be 40. I've been rapping for 20 years. I always like to do lines about like how long I've been rapping. So yeah, like
and the effects of it on the tongue.
Yeah,
apparently.
the tongue has been stitched up, sewn together, blown open mad times. Yeah. Like it's just like been through fire, hell and back. Fire and rain. And then I speak riddles to pawns, which is basically like the lower level of on the chessboard. Yeah. Don't understand what the fuck I'm saying, and give commands to the arms, basically telling everybody.
Okay, so when I heard that, the inflection made it sound to me like I speak riddles to palms instead of pawns.
Yeah.
And then the next line is
and give commands to the arms.
To the arms. So I'm like, my perception of it was palms to arms. I was like, there's something there, which makes me want to like go back and like I gotta listen to that again because I want to make sure I'm on the right track. Yeah. But now that I'm seeing it in its literal sense, I'm like, okay, it is pawns, but it's dope how it could have been palms.
It could have been palms, and palms would have worked too. Absolutely, because I'm like, could have sent some wild shit like. and then activated
Speaking
the whole
riddles to
like
palms,
it goes
which
through
is-
the body in a way.
Yeah. And the palm is kind of responsible, part of the hand that's responsible for writing the rhymes.
Yes.
The pen.
Yes. Damn. Okay. Fuck. Yeah. And then sometimes you hear those lines. You'll hear people say that, and you'll be like, "Damn, I should have said that instead."
Like, that's the type of shit that makes you want to go.
Yeah. Rewind selector.
All right, so if you're not familiar, when we press that button with the rewind, we gotta re-spit those last 4 bars.
Yes.
All right. Cool. So I'm gonna do it with the revised version, which is I've been spitting so long, my tongue is stitched up and sewn. I speak riddles to palms and give commands to the arms. All right.
Oh, watch out. Yo, we got Ed as a writing credit.
Let's
right now.
go. 10%. 10%.
I think it.
All right, so keep it going. This is just an exercise. I'm warming up the pen. Got sick of seeing them vectorizing the hearts of men. For any graphic design fans or affiliates out there, when they vectorize something, they simplify the shit out of it so that they can print it. So it's basically like, making it into just simple shapes. So if you have an image of a tree, if you want to vectorize it, you got to make it simpler and kind of illustrate it with simple colors. So that's me saying, they're just wearing us down. Got sick of them seeing them vectorizing the hearts of men. I see them out on the streets and they recognize a gem, which I'm like, when I put it the real word, I gotta lean into the G.
Yes, for people to differentiate while they're listening.
Yeah, I see them out on the streets and they recognize a gem. They see me on the beats. They like, not recognize again, which is some old battle shit. But I'm still rocking. I beat the booze and the pill popping. I beat the world that beats us down for dreaming big often. I grew up in Hollywood, Florida, which is like the pill capital at that time when I was in high school of the fucking world. I had multiple people I've known like overdose over the years. A dude I went to high school with just overdosed like a week or 2 ago. Same age, rest in peace. So that's me like reminding myself like could have gone down that road harder.
It's a reality that most of us face.
Yeah. Like I like to drink still. When I had the health problems we were talking about before in 2019, I examined alcohol as a possible factor, and I took time away from it, and I modified like certain habits. And then when I realized it was dietary and not the alcohol, I was very happy because I'm British, you know what I mean? I wanted to come back to my, you know what I mean? But what was cool is that little forced break ended up giving me a better reverence to alcohol. Yeah. So now I come back. And it's a
reset. It gives the body a chance regardless. So you're going to get some benefits from it.
If you do anything in your life every day, all the time, 365 days a year, and you've done it for multiple years, just take a month off. If you can manage it, take a month off and see how you feel about that shit when you come back. Whether it's coffee, weed, drink, I highly recommend it, because if you still feel great about it when you go back, great, but just give your body the chance to level back, and then you can have a full, clear head about how you really feel about this shit. Because I felt differently about alcohol. We're going off a tangent, but like I felt differently about alcohol taking that break, and then when I came back, I have a great relationship with it now, where like I enjoy it in moderation, and I know where my lines are, and I hardly cross them these days.
I did the same thing. I took a break from alcohol completely for about a year, and then the fucking world ended. It was like 2000, like when COVID just hit.
March of 2020.
That was like the last month. You know what I'm saying? For my drinking, I was just like sitting down in the kitchen, like I'm gonna make this motherfucking month. I don't care what's going on. You ever see
what
that?
Happens after this one?
You ever see that meme where like the dude is just sitting there, the little dog, and everything's burning, and I'm like, everything's fine. That was me, yo.
Yeah, because my drinking definitely like I definitely had the urge to drink a lot during that COVID lockdown for sure.
We treated it, in South Florida, we treated that shit like a hurricane party. Like if you weren't going nowhere, if you're from South Florida, you know that once the hurricane's coming through, like one of the essentials, besides your water, your generator, your sandbags, if you're living in a flooded area, like alcohol, like make sure you stock up on the alcohol, get the gas tank full. And make sure there's something to drink at the house.
I'm the most irresponsible hurricane shopper ever. Like, look at my cart, my shopping cart. It's like, you having a barbecue? I'm like, hell yeah, we are. We got all the party favors. So like, don't you need sandbags? I'm like, man, we'll figure that shit out later. It's fine.
Oh, damn, yo. Floridian life.
Floridian life. All right, shit. Where was I? All right, so yeah. But I'm still rocking. I beat the booze and the pill popping. I beat the world that beats us down for dreaming big often. Still trying to beat this industry that bleeds the kids' coffins and banish us from society because we've been coughing. And that's the end of the verse.
Yeah, there's still a good amount to even get. I just like to clarify that that's the end of the verse with that. But yeah, it's dope. I beat the world that beats us down for dreaming big. Often, that's typically for anybody who has who visualizes themselves doing something outside of what the expectations of, whether it be by society, family, the ones closest to you. That could be an uphill battle.
Absolutely.
And for those of you who kind of push past through all that and might not have that same support that would lead someone to have a success in it, and you still become successful with it, it's great. It's like, that's dope to see that you push past like everybody, whether it's naysaying or just people genuinely concerned for your financial well-being or just your stability moving forward. Anybody who has a dream that makes that dream connect and then can benefit from it, and then kind of push past, the doubt that everybody had. That's dope to me. That's a great thing to see happen, man. Absolutely. And you're an example of that.
I'm still here, man. I'm still going, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like if I had to phrase, I'm saying, recognizing. Well, if I could sum it up in one phrase, with recognize, it's taking respect. Ever since I've seen this man, from the battle days of local, from national battles, from just making music in everything. He's always taking his respect. People gave him respect, but he's taking it as well. It's like nothing was ever given to this man. So round of applause.
I appreciate that.
The biggest round.
I appreciate that greatly. I've been doing music full time now since 2012. So 11 years. Like the first Strange Music tour we went on, I kept my job. I kept my day job. And then when we got invited on the Hostile Takeover tour, which was 3 months of touring, my job was like, yo, we can't hold the spot for you no more. I can't rehire you in 3 months. So I quit my job in 2012 and went full-time music. So 11 years now of still like full-time music. And it's been close a couple times with COVID and all this shit has been bugged out, where I'm like, I don't know, I might have to get an extra couple hustles because shit's getting crazy. But yeah, I'm still happy to be here, and still like this shit still gets me out of bed. And like I said, the money's never the primary concern. It's like hustle however we can hustle to get the money and get our bills paid and our kids fed and shit. Yeah. But still, like, just getting up every day and like making records and going on the road and performing is still like feeds my soul. I'm still happy by that,
And
fresh.
We appreciate you still doing it, man.
Yeah,
over here in South Florida, got your back. You already know that.
Appreciate
you. Again, this is a Wrecking Crew exclusive.
Yes.
Let them know how to become part of the Wrecking Crew. Shouts to the Wrecking Crew. I was there. The Wrecking Crew.
You keep on saying Clue.
Hey. Wrecking Crew. Dylan Storm. Let me give them the proper respects. The Wrecking Crew. Shouts to them. I've been in the mix at times on the Twitch, and it's dope to see that community you built. And it's dope how you have that relationship with them where you provide them what it is that they're looking for, and at the same time you have the synchronicity with them where it's like they also hold you accountable for like, and you put together projects with just them as the ideas behind it.
We did like an EP once I hit 200 patrons. That was I was first just gonna put together a project and just give it to them, an exclusive, but then I was like, it wasn't fully finished, and I was like, you know what, it would be better if I actually make them part of that process. So I was like, you know what, like we're gonna take beats from a producer, vote on our favorite ones together, pick the beat, then like had writing sessions on live stream, which was really fun. Whereas like literally, what is everybody feeling like? People are throwing in concepts and topics, and then we're like kind of putting it together. And then when it came time to like really write the record, I'll go into the booth and do my own thing. But it was a really cool experience. But yeah, it came out of a fundraising project in 2019. I did 52 freestyles, one a week, and I needed to pay for the mixing for that project, even though I had a good deal from the homie Chip. Holla your boy. But even with that being said, 52 of them was expensive. So a friend of mine said, you should try and like fundraise for it. And a couple fans put me on to like either GoFundMe or Patreon. And Patreon was new to me. So I was like, let me try it. So I fundraised the project through that. And what was cool was it organically turned into this like community of like the strongest fans and the most diehard listeners that I have. And so then when the end of the fundraiser came, I was like, this is dope. Like, this is fresh. Like, it gives me like a more direct connection. Like, I wake up now thinking about like what I can create for this community that's willing to support me on a monthly basis in exchange for direct like access to this content. And so I gave it to them. I was like, do you guys want to keep this going? And if everybody votes to keep it going, we'll keep it rolling. And that was 3 years ago now. It's been going for 3 years. So it's been cool. It's been a really fun, organic community that like, they've inspired me and helped me like shift like where I'm gonna go with the music, and I kind of like take everything to them first. So yeah, if you want to become part of the Wrecking Crew, you're more than welcome. There's multiple ways you can get in for as low as $3 a month. It's we have weekly live streams. There's exclusive music. All the music gets previewed first by the crew. There's freestyles every month. There's discounts on merch. It's all kinds of stuff. So yeah, come holla at your boy.
Yo, I wish I could name them all. I know there's a couple names that float around, but yeah, y'all know who you are. The Wrecking Crew. Shouts to y'all. Yeah. Shouts to Reg. Once again, Barcodes the podcast. That's Beleaf. YouTube is where we're at. Rate, comment, subscribe.
All of that pretty shit down there. Yeah, press all those buttons.
Let's make it happen. Throw them comments up there.
Join us next.
Could be worse.
Barcodes.
Peace. Put it up.
2020 dose, I'm ready editing notes. I hope my enemies choke. They couldn't get to the post, they couldn't get to the line, they couldn't remedy votes to keep these heavenly rhymes from making devilish quotes. I've been pacing back and forth in this delivery room. See, life's a bitch and she's about to give a kid to me soon. I bet it's Rosemary's baby, she been sick in the womb. I'm just a king who likes to sing all night and sit in his tomb. Y'all need to back up off my pockets, I'm sicker than all these prophets. This money gets hella toxic, I chase it but it's obnoxious. I'm ready for independence, I'm checking off all the boxes. I'm graduating to splendid. You think it's sweet, but it's not. It's the flesh rotting the bone. Got harmony as a hostage. Thugs plotting to moan when I desecrate all the projects. I'm devious with the notepad and it's slamming like onyx. I'm thinking that you should know that. Focus hard, little novice. Bitch, I'm irate. Chasing normalcy out on the highway.
You need a mask to get in here, sir.
Well, take a look real hard at my face and tell me you don't see a mask on top of mask on top of mask. We all got plenty faces that we wearing, so I gotta ask, are you out your fucking mind? I've been knocking all night. I see no lights, I see no sign of intelligent life. I'm fearing there is none to find. This idiocracy is not a film I can rewind, so I push buttons. Shook ones falling out of the mix like crooks jumping. My looks bumping, I'm dodging y'all with the book dumping. See, I report to my own lords down in the dungeon. And yeah, this fantasy's mine, so don't come ask for nothing. I'm ready to lock, I'm ready to load, I'm ready to fire on them. I'm ready to rock, I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to firebomb them. I've been spitting so long, my tongue is stitched up and sewn. I speak riddles to pawns and give commands to the arms. It's just an exercise, I'm warming up the pen. Got sick of seeing them vectorizing the hearts of men. I see them out on the streets and they recognize a gem. They see me on the beats, they like, not recognize again. But I'm still rocking, I beat the booze and the pill popping. I beat the world that beats us down for dreaming big often. Still trying to beat this industry that bleeds the kids' coffins and banish us from society cause we been coughing.